Would you kindly subscribe to this channel? I'm sorry, I had to say it. Welcome back to Newstalgia, and this time we're looking at BioShock Remastered. When BioShock was coming out, I had no clue what to expect from it. The trailers had me interested, and when the demo came out, I really enjoyed the gameplay. In high school at the time, I waited until Saturday morning to pick up my pre-ordered copy from Blockbuster as soon as they opened. I got home and sat down to play BioShock for the first time. Before the night was done, I had beat the game. I was absolutely hooked, the story was fascinating, and the underwater retro world was so beautiful and fun to explore. On top of that, the game was very creepy and intense. I loved the weapon wheel system. It also had plasmids, which added cool twists to the gameplay. You had these powers that you would only really see in your more typical RPGs. Eventually they released the game on PS3, and I picked it up again. Then, a remastered collection was released on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I didn't even hesitate to pick them up. The world and universe that the developers created for the BioShock series is just so unique that I love revisiting it from time to time. Playing through the remastered was a treat. While it wasn't a massive improvement when compared to games like Spyro or Resident Evil 2, it still looked beautiful on the PS4. That's not to say it didn't look beautiful before. One of my favorite parts about playing through it for that first time was how incredible it looked. Revisiting it, I forgot how much customization there is. Not only do you have access to a good variety of weapons, but each of them features multiple ammo types. The weapons can be upgraded by finding upgrade stations across Rapture. Looking at the skills, you have the plasmids, which are attacks, and tonics, which are essentially passive skills. There's a good variety to the attacks, ones like Incinerate, Electricity, Mind Control, Big Daddies, and Telekinesis, to name some of them. Where with tonics, there are three categories: Engineering, Combat, and Physical. They can affect a variety of different areas that help big time towards the end game. At the start of the game, you can only equip 2 in each category, but as you progress and obtain more Atom, you can buy more slots. To get Atom, there are 3 ways to get it. The first is to harvest the Little Sister. With this, you kill it, but you get 160 Atom. If you save the Little Sister, you only obtain 80 Atom. While in the moment it doesn't seem worth it, the third way to get Atom is you get care packages from the Little Sisters after every couple ones you save. They usually contain 200 Atom and useful items like ammo and health packs. Another thing to keep in mind is saving and harvesting reflects the ending of the story. Personally, I like going the saving route, but I wouldn't judge you for going the harvesting route. Going back to the story, the one in this is so well done. Outside of the actual dialogue conversations, you can find a ton of recordings that give more background on characters. The nice thing is, when you find them, it autoplays them, so you can keep playing the game while listening to the recording. Another thing to mention is that BioShock is one of my favorite video game twists. I won't go into detail on it, but honestly, I can't stress how well done this story was. There isn't a huge variety when it comes to enemies. Mostly you have to worry about splicers, security systems, and of course Big Daddies. When I mentioned the Little Sisters earlier, you'll only find them with a Big Daddy. They serve as their protectors, so to save or harvest them, you have to take out their Big Daddy. They can be a pain, even more so if you're low on ammo, but in my opinion their fights make up for the lack of variety in enemies. There are different types of splicers that each use different weapons and have unique abilities, but they all look somewhat similar. But don't let that scare you from trying this game out. BioShock is an incredible experience from start to finish. It can be creepy and action-packed at different points. The main voice actors deliver great performances, and the story and world are just worth the price alone. With BioShock 1, you can definitely get at least 8 to 12 hours from the first playthrough, and even if the other games don't see much improvement, they are worth it. I will be covering them on this series in the future as well. Buying the complete set, which you have to do, you can usually pick up the BioShock Remastered Trilogy for around $40, but I definitely recommend waiting for a sale since I often see it as low as $20 on the PSN and Xbox Live sometimes. That being said, paying $40 isn't bad. Like, it's definitely worth the price. Until next time, this has been Newstalgia.
So you don't know what you're doing, and the walls are closing in. Just remember where we're going, and remember where we've been.